children. Let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hey, I was still hitting buttons. It doesn't, the live show will wait for nobody. Thank you. We got a rowdy studio audience, baby. Oh, have you guys seen that little? He's a small comic. He's about 4 foot. He's like Danny DeVito size, and he does Trump, and he comes out like he's like exactly like Trump. He's like 4'10", or what's Danny DeVito? 4'9", tall. I actually met Danny DeVito 2-3 times. And him and his wife, they drove a Prius. They drive a Prius. They did at the time. Really nice guy. Why would you text me at this time of day? Was I making a point? Yeah. The little Donald Trump comedian. The guy is freaking hilarious. If you go to YouTube and you search for like Google Trump impersonator or short, I don't know if saying short is a bad thing nowadays. Is it bad as it's like a tall motherfucker. Hey, you tall motherfucker, get the fuck out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. These tall guys. Tall people die sooner. You know that? Did you know tall people die sooner? It's true. It's a matter of fact. I think the height where it really starts to impact people is 6'2", and you start getting. I have two friends that are 6'4", 6'5", and one of them's a pharmacist. Great fucking he's the best guy in the world, right? He's one of those friends that you always want, and he was helping me out. I was doing some moving when I left Los Angeles, and he helped me out. And I turned to him, I said, without naming any names, do you know tall people die sooner? He goes, yeah, I know that. He's a pharmacist, right? He knows this stuff. So, but yeah, if you get tall, like if you're really tall, that's why tall people, there's no like really tall 100-year-olds. They're all like, even though they shrink like 4 or 5 inches, like, so the optimum height to live for a female is, a 5 foot to 5'6" or something like that. Like that's the optimum height. And then for a guy, it's 5'4" to 5'11" or 6 foot, something like this, somewhere in there. That's like the optimum life expectancy. Now you can be tall and still live long. Clint Eastwood, right? He was tall. He's like 6'2", 6'3". Have you guys seen pictures of Clint Eastwood and Hugh Jackman? Clint Eastwood when he was young and Hugh Jackman. Split an image. It's like Will Ferrell, the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? Like they're freaking like, oh my God, you see that skit with them together as SNL skit? Crazy. Like there's some stuff crazier than black holes in this world, which we are going to get into. There's some black hole. Do you know? Science kicks ass. Like it really does. Can I get a hell yeah or something for the science? Science. Black holes. There are parts of the black hole that can get up to trillions of degrees. Trillions. It's a lot of zeros. That's 5 bunches of zeros. And that is around the corona, which is kind of like coming off, going into the jet. Anyway, so I just launched a video today. I released a video about black holes, and because I love black holes, right? It's the only thing that bends space, the fabric of space-time, right? Which, if you take a look at a black hole, the power behind a black hole. If you're not convinced that warps are creating a warp bubble is probably going to be absolutely impossible by the crazy stuff that goes on in a black hole. I mean, I like dreaming and I love being the optimist, right? But black holes, I always say you can't put a saddle on them and say, giddy up. They don't respond. They are sheer power. It's just sheer power. And so I released a video today. It's basically surviving a black hole, and the idea that where would you die? Basically, a lot of it is temperature. Temperatures are insane around a black hole. But what if that black hole does not have an accretion disk? What happens then? What are the temperatures when there's no accretion disk? Can you go through the event horizon? And then, work your way down to the singularity and kind of hang out at the singularity. Like, is there a bar? It's like a bar, right? Like, the middle of a black hole is called the singularity. And you'll go in and you sit down at the bars. I'll take 2 Corona, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, you get torn part of every. You get shredded. We're gonna go over that. That's what we're doing today, guys. There's the final supermoon. So we are doing. So this is Underworld Week, not to be confused with Underwear Week. Underwear Week is next week. This week is Underworld with Kate Beckinsale. But ironically, today is Rise of Lycans, and there is no Kate Beckinsale. I mean, that's the kind of you watch yeah. So I have to watch an entire movie of Rise of Lycans without Kate Beckinsale. Except for the very, very end. So she does get an IMDb credit, like a little notch, because at the very, very end, they use like a repeated scene to kind of show it. I mean, is it good? I don't, the consistency, what I like about the Rise of Lycans, the whole Underworld thing, their consistency in terms of, as far as sci-fi, fantasy, movies go, the consistency in tone, color palette, and feel is amazing. All 3 movies feel the same. They use the exact same color palette. It's like they start with the black and white, and then they add like a nice, rich blue tone, a little bit, and their lighting of castles. Like if you watch the frickin' Witcher, you will see the worst lighting in the history of any Hollywood production. Their castle scenes are a freaking joke. Like light going, it's like you have like 4 suns in a room, and like you're in a castle. But the light, the Underworld people, the cinematographers and directors, they're so good at lighting everything. So we're gonna hit that later on, guys. Code Red. Have you seen Code Red? ChatGPT. Code Red. I don't have a siren. So ChatGPT, Sam Altman issued a Code Red. And I get it, because last week, or was it the week before, a couple weeks ago, I made an announcement here on Godless Universe Live that I was using Gemini now, because I used to mostly use ChatGPT with a little bit of Gemini sprinkled in. But then, I think it was about a week or 2 ago, it was 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden the Gemini, everything Gemini queries were all of a sudden, what? This is not the same Gemini. Of course, they released the Gemini 3, the latest version. And it is, I think I've used ChatGPT a fraction of the time since they released the new, and I get it. So Sam Altman, this is big for AI. This affects a lot of things. Google, and you look at Google's stock price. It went from 130, 140 just a few months ago to, what is it, 310, 320. Google is absolutely running away with AI, guys. Sora sucks. And Sora that's the ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT video creator. It really sucks. And there's so many video generation things. And you know what? And that's part of the problem in trying to do video generation is there is so many, like you go to some of these sites that they'll take everything and you got all of these choices. Well, how in the hell do I know which one of these models is going to work best for me? Like, it's an absolute shit show. But Veo, guys, so I did some tests with Veo, Sora, and a whole bunch of other ones. Veo is kicking ass. It really is for video generation. It is shocking what Google has done with Gemini. Absolutely shocking. So I am For someone who uses a lot of AI stuff for video generation, image generation, lots of searches, information compilation, things like that. If you don't use AI right now, you got to start. Every little thing that you think, why anyone is doing a Google search is beyond me. Why would you do a Google search? You go to Gemini and you do a search right there. It will compile everything. You don't have to go through every single website. Just do a Google search. That's what you want to, or Gemini, Gemini AI. Google is dead. It is like the Google search is dead. It will be a thing of the past. If you're not like really, Google search is like, oh my God, you guys are still using that. I mean, I used to like use that in like before COVID. Hello. Yeah, you don't, Gemini. So anyway, Sam Altman issued a code red for ChatGPT, and he should, because you know what? With the billions and billions and billions of dollars that ChatGPT has been financed, I worked on Wall Street for many years. I was a market maker on NYSE and NASDAQ, and as well as an economic analyst. And so the economics of tech is critical to understand for everyone's life, because if you do not understand technology and how it's going to affect everybody, then you are going to fall behind. Should I don't know, maybe not. So we got a short little clip on understanding what's going on with ChatGPT and Code Red with Gemini, and also 3i Atlas. There is a quick little clip. So we got to do. I didn't get to it yesterday because the show ran long. We got a lot of show today. So 3i Atlas YouTube search, and there's this one. I'm gonna play part of this video on just shows the kind of stupidity that is all around 3i Atlas. Now on 3i Atlas, there have been cryovolcanoes. So 3i Atlas is a much bigger, much more active. It's a large piece of rock that has entered our solar system. But now it does have cryovolcanoes. And the fact that it has cryovolcanoes is actually more proof that it's not a stupid alien spaceship. Like, it just drives me crazy that people what everything that Avi Loeb does with 3i Atlas cause, I mean, it's just now so everything that you search, if you go into YouTube, everything you search for 3i Atlas is basically just stupid ass clickbait. That's all it is. It's some of the stupidest. So we're going to quickly go through that. But for the let's do this, these cryovolcanoes. I think I got a quick little piece on interstellar comet erupting. Yeah, there we go. It's a very big show. So the let's move that over there. Oh, no way. Oh, I hate when it does that. There are so many things that are so frustrating to Windows. I mean, it is almost impossible to fully fuck Windows. Does Windows control? The one thing, if there's anything that's going to put me in a bad mood on any given day, it's Windows. It really is. It really is. So Interstellar. Do I got this? No, I got to take the advertising. Sorry, man. I got the no man. There we go. Interstellar comet 3i Atlas is erupting in ice volcanoes, new images suggest. Now, if anything, guys, that proves more than anything that it's not a freaking alien spaceship. No one's going to send a 20-mile alien spaceship and not land on Earth. You know how much energy it takes just to get to our solar system? So you're going to send a 20-mile spaceship and not even land on Earth. Nanu. Anyway, it's just mind-blowing to me. Researchers have found evidence that as the comet approached the sun, a series of cryovolcanoes nicknamed ice volcanoes. Well, isn't that appropriate, erupted on its surface. The activation of these icy jets can be explained by what the strange comet is made of, according to a study posted on November 24th to the preprint server RXIV. The study's findings, which have yet to be peer-reviewed, by the way, I mean, you should maybe mention that to Avi Loeb, suggests that 3I Atlas is similar to icy trans-Neptunian objects, dwarf planets, and other objects that orbit the sun beyond Neptune. If this is confirmed, it means that despite coming from another solar system, Comet 3I Atlas has a surprising amount of common with objects in our own cosmic neighborhood. I mean, you would have to kind of come to expect that, right? You've got a comet that enters our solar system. Probably there's like a base level that all comets have in common with each other. And I don't think that this is any sort of a surprise. You know, comets with cryovolcanism. I mean, that's really not. I mean, the larger ones are going to have cryovolcanism. So there's nothing. But there's so many people that are absolutely like space dumb, universe dumb, science dumb, astrophysics dumb. But not that I'm not saying they're dumb. They're just dumb and they just take this and I got to show you a video. But anyway, you know what? Let's check this out. Share this tab. Oh, here we go. So this is this is a recent. Yeah, it is. This is a recent. Like I did this search just before we went live, 20 minutes ago. WTF are we talking about? Curry. We're talking about 3i Atlas, dude. Samira Shash in real estate. She says, "Hi, stop talking, stop cussing, white boy." That's fucking racist, isn't it? I don't know. You know, something just tells me I couldn't go on somewhere and just say something that is non-white boy, you know. Anyway, that's okay. That's okay. You's dumb, man. You's just stupid. Huh? You's just stupid. Oh, Sammy. Oh, Sammy. So here we are, guys. This is one of the NASA Avi Loeb, right? There's so much clickbait. There's so much freaking clickbait on YouTube and this whole 3i Atlas garbage stuff. The fact that we can't enjoy it, that it's an alien comet visitor that's probably been traveling for billions of years. Avi Loeb has to jump on it, and then he throws Brian Cox and Neil deGrasse Tyson under the bus, calling them names because they don't agree with them. But NASA's silence on 3i Atlas sparks alarm. Yeah. So much alarm, Avi, you dumbass. Can I just call Avi? You know what? Oh, guys, so I came up with this great nickname for Avi. Avi Noob. Avi Noob. Yeah. Avi Noob. N-O-O-B, noob. Because he sucks. Thank you. Great audience. Great audience. Thank you. How does a guy like that get his position at Harvard? Seriously. There's a lot of applause. How does a person like him get a position at Harvard? He has been such an alarmist over so many things, from finding asteroids in the ocean that he says have evidence of aliens or something. What is it? Oumuamua were aliens. Now 3i Atlas is an alien. Everything he says is fucking stupid. I mean, it's embarrassing to the science community. I think this gal's kind of Amelia Ortiz. Don't know the guy. There we go. There's the green pill. If you guys want to take the green pill, 3i Atlas reveals a massive new mystery. It's a big iron metallic, some sort of cylinder Christina Gomez is putting out there. Okay, I mean that's it has a squad. 3i Atlas has a squad, like the Democrats, like the squad. Like, oh my God, oh geez, I know that. That's just basic. That's the imagery. I know the imagery. I would never use that imagery. That is so tacky. Come on, Dobsonian power. So this girl. So I gotta play. Oh look, there's Randall Carlson. Randall Carlson. He's kind of cool, right? He's I don't know. He's kind of not like I'm a purist. I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe that there's ancient civilizations that ruled our world that taught the Egyptians how to build it. You know, it's kind of that's what I am. I'm basically a science guy. 1 + 1 = 2, kind of like a Spock guy. So Elizabeth April, I don't know why she's commenting on
comparison of my life, but
on 3i Atlas. But this is, I mean, she's cute. I think she's got 325,000 followers. I mean, that's not bad, right? But listen to what she says here.
it is intelligent. There is intelligent life within it. It is
intelligent. 3i Atlas is intelligent, and there is intelligence within it. She knows this because I don't know how she knows that.
a spacecraft, and we're going to talk about more of that today.
It's a spacecraft. See, she's taken the Avi Loeb purple liquid, right? This is what happens when too many people take the bullshit Avi Loeb purple frickin' liquid. You instantly drop 30 IQ points.
And the boring part is that it's really just passing through. You know, it's not going to come invade us. It's not coming to planet Earth. It is just here to pass through because it's on a journey to go elsewhere.
Okay, guys. Okay, I want to. Can I just quickly just calm the nerves down of everybody? Elizabeth has confirmed that it's just passing through. It's got to go elsewhere. It's got other plans. It's got appointments. it's got fucking appointments. Oh dear God. You know what I wish? I wish Leonard Nimoy was alive. Because you know what I would do? I would I'd pick up my phone and I'd call. I was like, Leonard Nimoy, can you do like a 5-minute bit with Spock on Godless Universe for me? Because it's 3i Atlas. It's not gonna land. Alien troops ain't coming out. They're not gonna. It's got place. Look, 3i Atlas has got places to go. It's just passing through. Elizabeth says we're okay. Okay, we're freaking okay. So settle down.
That being said, I obviously wanted to recheck into it today. There's been a lot of stir. There's been a lot of sort of new scientific discoveries.
Kind of funny, her saying the 2 words scientific discoveries, isn't it? Kind of funny.
That are creating a lot of questioning. So I decided to go back to that ship and actually dig a little bit deeper. Who's occupying the ship? Why are they there? Where are they coming from? How does your ship work? What do you think about humans? What do you think about Earth? Is your ship affecting us in any way?
How can I just ask? I mean, if I could ask her one question, Elizabeth. I am a hobbyist astrophysicist. That's kind of like want to describe myself, right? I would just want to ask her, Elizabeth. I mean, how are you going to start to answer these questions? Who's in the spaceship? What do they look like? Do they like human beings? What kind of food do they serve? I mean, is the food good on the spaceship? I mean, you got to think they're organic. Is she going to answer these questions?
Are you affecting us in any way? And the answers were absolutely shocking. And so,
how do you get the answers to this shit?
So fascinating. So yeah, we're going to get into all of that right now. And just strap in, hang on. As always, you guys, I'm a remote viewer, take it or leave it. If it resonates with you, great, it's for you. If it does not resonate with you, just go ahead and take it as a piece of entertaining.
It's fucking entertaining, honey. it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Entertaining minutes, it's fascinating. And as I've said before, I don't know what to expect. I didn't have any sort of preconceived notion. Obviously, I knew that there was intelligence behind it because I had remote viewed it a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. So, okay, that changes everything. She knows that there's intelligence behind it because she remote viewed it a couple of months ago. That changes everything, right? Is that like? I'm convinced.
But I'm just skeptical and curious and open-minded and really.
I don't think you're any one of those, honey.
Really pay attention to front loading, and essentially that's just preconceived notion. All right. So before we get into everything I remote viewed and answering all of those fascinating questions, let's talk about some things that other people are talking about right now, just to sort of tie in some threads.
I was kind of enjoying what she was saying. I thought is this like the Comedy Network? What is this?
And get your mind a little bit stimulated, because it is interesting. So. And these are just things that I picked up on from other people's videos that other people sent me. So yeah.
Well, that makes it true. I always say if someone else says it, it's true. That's my level of proof that I need. Someone says something, I'll fucking believe it. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What the fuck? What? Oh, sorry, Elizabeth. Keep going.
Don't take any of this as like fact. Take all of this as a grain of salt as well. And do your own research on some of the more suspicious, weird things surrounding this sort of comment. Okay.
And look, I think she's probably a really nice person, right? I have nothing against her. Nothing. This is the kind of stuff that is, if any of you guys are like at home science, nerd junkies, you love, you're not Brian Cox, you're not going to CERN every single day, kind of like, colliding electrons together, but you follow science, you understand physics, you understand the math of physics, and you understand the laws of the universe. There's certain things that I won't talk about because I know I'm stupid about it. Like I've never had any like candles. Like I'm no good at candles. I don't know what makes a good candle. Wax, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. So one of the first things is that very recently NASA had disruptions in its 24-hour live footage.
Yes, because the government was shut down. They had a 43-day disruption. Ironically, the government was shut down for 43 days. Someone forgot to tell Avi Loeb that. Now, and apparently they forgot to tell Elizabeth.
There's also photos, I guess, of when 3i Atlas was closest to Mars. And they haven't released those images yet. However, there's sort of these junior astronomers who are all over the world and they have their own equipment. And they are taking very fascinating images of 3i Atlas that's sparking a lot of questions. So once again, go and do your own research around that.
Sparking a lot of questions. The question they're sparking is not, hey, Sparky, I think the only one that's sparking anything about aliens, apart from all the clickbait on YouTube, it's literally all clickbait. You do 3i Atlas, you don't get anyone scientific. In December, or in the final quarter, YouTube is going to cancel 30 million YouTube accounts for various reasons. Part of it is kind of like, telling stuff that ain't true. And I wonder if some of this stuff on 3i Atlas is going to hit the scrap table because some of this stuff is such bullshit.
They are speculating that actually early 2026 is when 3i Atlas is going to be closest to Earth.
They are speculating, and that's not even speculating. It's kind of a matter of fact. As it goes around, it's going to be. I think that's when the landing happens. So if you guys stock up on your tuna, get your cans of tuna, get your teepee. You don't want to poop with no teepee. I mean, I prefer cottonelle wipes myself. I think that's kind of a little.
I know before they were speculating sort of October, November. Now they're sort of saying around January 19th. Like I said, things.
No, that was, see, they don't even understand. It comes one way, then it shoots around and then goes around the other way, right? It's also going to be closest to Jupiter as well. And apparently Avi Loeb is suggesting that that's when it's going to release other things or something. I
Change, take it or leave it. But this is just information that I've picked up on. Also, people are relating sort of the emergence of Three Eye Atlas to some interesting worldly events like volcanoes erupting. I guess there was a big volcanic eruption, and then there's a lot of sort of recent volcanic activity that's been sort of spurring people on as well. And then on top of that, there's a lot of
She's connecting Three Eye Atlas with global events. Like there's scientific evidence. Well, look, Three Eye Atlas just went around the sun just like 2 weeks ago. It's coming around. And then we had like a volcano thing, and then we had like a tornado and some like weather stuff happen. And
of people linking the appearance of Three Eye Atlas to some very interesting religious and ancestral documents. So we're talking.
She's even linking it to religious stuff. Like, oh my God. Okay, you know
like
what?
The Quran, the Bible. We're talking like ancient sort of Native American indigenous roots. And there's all these prophecies.
That's good enough, Elizabeth April. Oh my God. Okay, that's good enough. Holy cow. Elizabeth April, my friend, she is an astrophysicist. She's not an astro. I don't know what she is, but she's got Three Eye Atlas totally figured out. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to scratch that off my show list. Did it. Done it. Did it. Three Eye Atlas girl, Elizabeth. Guys, if you're following AI, and this is serious, right? AI, ChatGPT. I'm working on some videos on AI. One of my favorite videos I've done is, will AI turn us into Borg? And I'm one who believes that the way everything is going, that answer is yes. The answer to that question is yes. Because the only way, I forgot what the gentleman's name was, and it made the most sense. He's done 2 versions of OpenAI. He started his own AI company. He got financed himself first round $1 billion. Like, that's just insane. And I watched his interview, and I totally agreed. Never has there been a less intelligent species that has dominated a more intelligent species. It just doesn't happen. So if you suggest that the super intelligence that is AI becomes multiple times more analytical, able to analyze, compute information than a human being can, at what point in time does the AI literally take over and become dominant over human beings? Like, it'll hit critical mass, and you got to think that at some point in time it's gonna hit that. So what he suggests, and I think there's really something to this. The only way that we survive AI to our best benefit is we merge with it. We merge with AI. And all the stuff that's going on with Neuralink and taking inorganics, combining it with organics. When the signals that are sent from inorganics, from computer chips, merge with organic electrical signals, and they can be read seamlessly and transmitted through the brain and down through, basically quadriplegics and paraplegics will find them have a cure, which will be absolutely amazing for them, right? That will be amazing for them. But you now have a situation where, yes, we will process information in a more faster way. Probably our health will become better. These organic and inorganic systems, when they come together, basically our brains are going to be computer chipped. This is not science fiction anymore. This is probably, if we are going to continue as a species, something that will have to happen. And of course, you know about the RFID chips, right? Everyone is talking about being chipped, that the government wants people to be chipped. I don't know if it's so much even an option not to be chipped. Because if the technology and everything that AI brings, if you are chipped and you are merged with AI, you become a much more proficient human being. So is that a nice way to say it? There will literally be two classes of people. It'll be like the late 80s. It's the people that had the big white Motorola phone and most of the other people that didn't have the big white Motorola phone. This will be the merger. It's the only way that we can truly maximize AI. Now we're talking Borg, right? We are now talking Borg. You will be assimilated. Shut the fuck up and you will be assimilated. That's what's going on. Is it scary? Maybe. I don't know if it's as scary as it is possibly. It's just, I think it's a matter of fact. I don't think there's any way to get around it. I don't think there's. The people that are going to be non-chipped are going to be the people that are literally, if you want to look at Hunger Games, they're the ones that are living outside the wall, right? And you might have chips released, and I think this will become just something that happens on a regular basis. New brain chips are released, and you upgrade your brain chips or your chips. Maybe it's behind your ear, maybe it's up, and you whatever it is, pull it out, change it. You're connected to a mainframe, which is a government mainframe. If you screw up, the government's going to turn you off of services. If you owe taxes, they'll just go right into your account, take taxes. It's going to be good, and it's going to be very bad in some ways. But I don't think there's any way that we can stop this from happening. I might play this guy's video next week, but I'm going to. But what, where are we here? Let me stop screen, video file, show files, rise of the Lycans, Google. So this is one of the best, just straight to the point. I watch CNBC a lot, the financial news, but they dwell a lot on the financial aspects of what Sam Altman came out and said, which is fine, but it's not really the idea that we're trying to take a look here on as to what. But basically, the code red when Gemini V3 came out 2 weeks ago, like I noticed right away because I use Gemini and I use ChatGPT, and basically I use ChatGPT 90% of the time. Now I use Gemini 95% of the time. It is not surprising that Sam Altman put this code red ChatGPT. I'll tell you, Google is way out ahead. There's a couple of things that I found lacking with Gemini. It didn't have a very good memory with what it was talking about, one or two queries behind it, where ChatGPT is almost like it has an incredible memory. Gemini wasn't as good as remembering certain queries. So when I typed something in, I just typed it in the way I normally do, and it spewed this stuff out. It's like, oh my God, no. So I had to preface it with what two queries before that, what I meant. ChatGPT never does. ChatGPT has an incredible memory. So Gemini, the one thing that I see with Gemini that it needs, it needs to remember. So if I ask it to remember, please remember this, and we'll continue with this conversation tomorrow, kind of thing. It's very important. AI needs to have memory. Without memory, you're just asking the same question over and over again. So that's really important. But the queries and the information that Gemini is sending back they're ahead, guys. And so this is the code red. This is the code red that Sam Altman issued just in the last 24 hours.
OpenAI declaring code red as the AI race intensifies. And Google threatens to unseat the industry's early leader, according to a report.
They have unseated. Google Gemini is way ahead, way in the lead now. They're like 2 generations ahead of ChatGPT. Google's
From the
dominating.
Wall Street Journal, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told employees the company must focus on improving ChatGPT, pushing all other products to the sideline to address the threat. Last month, Google released an updated version of its AI model called Gemini. Some are calling it the most capable.
Well, they didn't release Gemini. It's always been the name Gemini. It's their version 3. The reporters. How do I say this nicely? Because I don't like being mean. Sometimes they're not that bright. Stupid is what stupid does.
AI model, yes. Let's bring in Jacob Ward, a technology journalist and host of the Rip Current
This guy's pretty
podcast
good.
and
This guy's pretty
author
good.
of The Loop, How Technology is Creating a World Without Choices and How to Fight Back. Jacob, always good to see you. So why is OpenAI declaring a code red? Or what are the competitive stakes here?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can imagine the OpenAI workers coming back from Thanksgiving thinking they're going to coast right into the holiday.
Yeah,
and
no.
all of that being blown up when their boss drops this memo on them. Code red sounds like some sort of national emergency. It is not. It is a business emergency for this company.
I hope people didn't think it was a. Did some people think it was a national emergency? Really? I guess I bet you a lot of people probably did, right? I mean, let's face it. The average person in North America, ain't that bright. That's not even what I want to say. They're not up with current events, right? They're not going to know what the hell's going on with AI.
What they're worried about, of course, is, as you mentioned, Gemini is on the ascent. We've seen Google's user base grow up to something like 650 million monthly users after it released this new image generator. They are definitely.
Oh yeah, the new image generator. So Sora, which is ChatGPT's, is terrible, guys. It is terrible. ChatGPT's image and the video generation is like something that was going on 2 years ago. Like, dude, you have raised how many? Like $200 billion at ChatGPT, and you can't even. There was one of the most frustrating things with video generation with ChatGPT. It's useless. You don't even go there. Don't even go there. But Neil, with Gemini at version 3.1, it is arguably on top, right up there with Runway. Midjourney seems to be dropping a little bit. It's the video generation in AI that is the real big one, right? Because imagine a day, guys, where you can just type in some prompts and then specify exactly. You might need to whittle it down, but because I'm a screenwriter and I've done a lot of things in Hollywood since I moved out of Hollywood just a few months ago. But this is going to destroy the film business. Anyone who's in the photography business, VFX, anyone who is in film, who's a grip, who is there's some stuff that you're always going to have to go out there and film, always. But with video generation, a shoot that cost $1 million, a 3-day shoot that cost $1 million, and employed 75 people. Now employs 2 people at a computer typing out prompts for 3-4 hours to get the same results. And it could turn out to be that because if you get a version of what you're typing in for a prompt that you like, and you just want to change the lighting a little bit in a corner, you want to add a glare, a window glare, a camera lens glare, you want to add this, you just type it in and it's done. When things graphic artists are out of a job, coders, because as AI becomes, and I do write my own a little bit of code. I do UI, CSS, HTML, and all those people are out of a business. They're out of a job. They're done. People think that electricians and whatnot are okay. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the robots? You will call a robot. They will come. They will do a scan of your entire, let's say, your home or your business. They'll find the box. They will take a look. And they will make the changes. Now you got to get the dexterity in the fingers. You got to get a whole bunch of things done. Or you have a master electrician that comes with 1 or 2 bots. These 1 or 2 bots do the job, and the master electrician finishes it off. these bots will come, they'll fix a hinge. These bots will come. So if you think the handyman is, no, the handyman is just as much in trouble as anyone else.
Catching up. And we saw people like Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff say, this is the one I'm going to use from now on. It's just so cool. It's so great. And that clearly has OpenAI panicking because, as you mentioned, they are the early leader. We've been using ChatGPT the way we used to use the verb Google.
That was big news. That was big news. When Benioff said that he's moving to Gemini, this was 2 weeks ago, right around when I noticed, wait, it's like this Gemini, like this is Gemini, like, whoa. So Salesforce is like, that was such a dramatic change in Benioff's decision to use Gemini over ChatGPT. That was done 2 weeks ago. And I was like, wow.
And so now they clearly don't want to be displaced here.
So what is it about Gemini that's better than ChatGPT? What can it do that the other company can't?
Well, so the industry benchmarks are typically things like, you throw it a big stack of trivia or a big stack of medical exam questions. You try and trick it into saying hateful or dangerous things and figure out whether it can steer the conversation back in a more great, a better direction. Yeah. But, all those industry benchmarks are theoretically what Gemini has now surpassed this chatbot on. But we don't care about that. I mean, we don't care about that. We care about, does it write funny jokes? Does it make cool images? And does it save me time?
Well, I think it's a lot more than that. Today, I did a query, just to let you guys know, I did a query. So I launched one of my a new black hole video, which I had a freaking blast putting together. And one of the questions that I asked ChatGPT was something to do with a dying or being killed by a black hole. I forgot what the exact query was, and ChatGPT would not produce a result for me. And I reworded it, and again, it had like the solid red letters, cannot compute, error, like Star Trek, right? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I have fucking die or killed in there. I'm talking about a black hole. It's like a hypothetical situation I put in there. And ChatGPT wouldn't do it. So I went to Gemini, pounds it out. So if you are literally, because I can't say died or killed, and there are so many versions that was disappointing for ChatGPT. Very disappointing. But Gemini just spit it out right away. That happened today. I was like, wow.
And ChatGPT clearly is still going to be able to do that. They just seem to feel that they need to adopt a new, or at least a more intense version of their strategy in order to get more of us using it.
Google makes billions of dollars a year. OpenAI has yet to turn a profit. If money is the issue for OpenAI, why not focus on something like ad revenue, something we know will make dollars?
That's right. I mean, the projections are that OpenAI can't even turn a profit till probably 2030. They're talking about spending more than $1 trillion on infrastructure. So how they're going to get there, it's not really clear. But you're right? Why wouldn't you just go for advertising? Why wouldn't you do what Google has done, which makes huge money that way? Well, you'll remember like in the early days of Facebook, which nowadays makes all its money off advertising, Mark Zuckerberg was very reluctant to do advertising. He didn't want to mess with the product. He wanted to make the product irresistible first before he began bothering people with advertising. What you hear in both the code red memo language that the Wall Street Journal obtained and in all of the public pronouncements is that what they really want is personalization and emotional attachment. They want ChatGPT to be a thing that you just can't help but use on a psychological and emotional level. It feels.
It's actually not. It's not. I disagree with the guy. For someone, I mean, I've used AI for 2 years, pretty aggressively. It's the strength in the query. It's the strength in the question that I ask. So you still have to have an understanding of the question that you ask, because there's very often that the AI will give you an answer that doesn't, that's hard for me to believe. And then you have to actually Google it, verify it. And there's many times, it's getting better. ChatGPT and especially Gemini is getting much better. But the results that you get are not necessarily a matter of fact. And a lot of times I know the answer and I type it in, but no, that's not, I didn't, that and this and blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, blah, 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 blah. And it'll correct itself and yada, yada, yada. So you just cannot take anything that AI says and say, that's just, I'm okay, I'll run with it. You'll look like an idiot. I mean, if you're getting your scripts done, if you're doing YouTube videos and you're letting them do your scripts and you're just loading those scripts and just you're good. You can assimilate the data using AI. If you're doing YouTube scripts, get the data, or you can get a general framework together, but you have got to go through it, reword it, rewrite it, humanize it, check the data, add things that they missed, whatever it is. But Gemini is, I'd say, two generations ahead of ChatGPT.
To me, like, that is what they're trying to do for all of us, is make us so hooked on this product that we can't help but look at the ads when and if they introduce those. So he seems to feel, Sam Altman seems to feel that he needs to go hard at that before he distracts anybody from anything else. Make it as compelling as possible, make it irresistible.
And a lot of these companies seem to be racing ahead when it comes to AI, but not Apple. It's interesting.
Right.
That's actually really, it is interesting. And I've watched, Apple was slow at the game. And I think Tim Cook has fucked up. I really think Tim Cook is absolutely fucked up. This is going to put Apple back. They're going to have to spend billions to try and catch up. Unless they're going to go out and try and buy OpenAI or Perplexity or what's the other one that there's a couple other good ones that I've used intermittently, but they're just not as good in getting in the query results that you get back. But Apple has screwed up. Tim Cook has messed up. Tim Cook was he wasn't in the technology side. He was in the the global distribution and Tim Cook is obsolete for Apple. If the Apple board doesn't frickin' see that, get a new CEO, Apple. Get a new CEO, because Tim Cook is yesterday. He has fucked Apple up. It's crazy to me that they're at $270 for their stock at a 35 PE. Are you kidding me, Apple?
Right.
And there's a lot of speculation about why that is. But what do you think the strategy is here?
Well, with Apple, I mean, you really cannot, as a hardware company, as a hardware company that if you make a mistake and then ship everything with a mistake in it, that's a real problem. In software, that's not the problem. Software, you can ship tons and tons and tons of a broken thing and fix it over time, no problem. Apple is in a very careful business as a handset maker, and I think that they probably just don't want to mess with their brand reputation. So while, all of the common wisdom has been saying, oh, they're struggling to keep up and so forth, I don't know, like, they just feel to me like they're just doing what they do really well.
I'm not sure this is really about, this is really not about Apple. Apple's screwed. Tim Cook screwed the pooch for a full year before he really did anything in AI. This is going to affect iPhone sales. This is going to affect a lot of things. Unless they surprise, just like Gemini just did, right? Gemini literally took all of the air out of ChatGPT. I will not use ChatGPT. My first go-to is Gemini, and ChatGPT's Sora is so bad. Their video generation is so bad. They are a full year behind on video generation. A full year. Google is so far ahead right now with their video generation, with with Gemini. It is insane. And the fact that Sam Altman has to go out and issue a code red emergency. If ChatGPT, OpenAI, was a publicly traded stock, and I worked on Wall Street as a market maker and economic analyst for years, if it was a publicly traded stock, it probably would have been off 50% off its highs right now. Their next funding round is going to be really difficult to get something higher than the price of their last funding round, because I was going to play an interview with Tucker Carlson and Sam Altman, and his indecisive answers with Tucker Carlson, which should have been, these were not complicated questions. I know how I would have answered them, and he was so timid to answer them the way they should have been answered. But this code red, like I say again, this code red for ChatGPT, it shouldn't be code red, it should be code triple red. ChatGPT is fucked.
Make gobs of money. They're not hurting for money.
No, they're not.
And if they partner up maybe with somebody like a Google, right, to get this out there in the future, they're going to be in a position to put it into all of our pockets instantaneously. So
that's probably a good idea for OpenAI to partner with someone like Apple, because I'm telling you, man, Google is eating their lunch right now. Google, and you know what? That doesn't even suggest. If you're not using Gemini right now, and you're using ChatGPT, you're an idiot. I mean, I found that out 2 weeks ago, and I was like blown away. Blown away. OpenAI is yesterday's news. It's done. They're in trouble. They gotta go high. They gotta go. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go to Google, get their engineers, offer them like $150 million a year. That's literally the kind of money these freaking AI engineers are making. Their starting wage is $30 million a year. It's insane. Insane, my friends. And it wouldn't surprise me if ChatGPT, OpenAI, goes and tries to take some of these guys that work in Gemini, and these guys at Gemini will make so much money. These AI engineers.
I just feel like Apple's one of these companies that doesn't have to rush in the way that a company like OpenAI, which has no clear path to profitability, really has to right now.
So Apple's just kind of waiting to see what the best product is and maybe go with them.
That's the vibe I get. Why rush? They don't need to. They can sit back on their.
That's bullshit. Even Apple needs to rush. If you don't have an AI strategy, Apple has no AI strategy, and Tim Cook is still CEO.
Mountains of cash and just wait it out, and I think that's probably what they're doing.
OpenAI, ChatGPT has raised mountains of cash. Now Google has mountains of cash, but I'll tell you, man, Google just laid the frickin' open hand palm slap on ChatGPT's ass and put them 2 generations behind. Google is in the lead, so far in the lead, and the only thing that Sam Altman can do is code red, people. We were in trouble. Code red. You think?
Good word. Thank you so much. So good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Thanks a lot.
There we go. All right. That's can I get a hell yeah? What do I get? Do I get kind of full applause? Okay, AI, guys, is yeah, AI. AI is so, like I said, I worked on Wall Street for many years. I was a market maker, ARCA on NYSE, and Island and Instinet on NASDAQ. And I was also an economic analyst and a technology analyst, and still follow CNBC. I watch every single day. If you're not following what's going on with AI, entire industries are being wiped out. So when I lived in Los Angeles for almost 20 years, and there was these 2 buildings where all the graphic artists were. They were like 18-story buildings, like old school kind of, 1930s sort of style buildings there in just off of the downtown in the kind of off the Fashion District. Actually, it was right in the Fashion District. And these 2 buildings were basically full of graphic artists. I finally got my ass out of Los Angeles on May 11th. Oh, fuck, thank God. What a shit city. What a shit city Los Angeles is. And that's being nice. I am being nice. But these buildings were almost vacant. The graphic artists that spent decades in there, gone, out of business, unemployed. Graphic artists that were making $20,000 one month were making 0. Or a fraction of what they were after that. People in the film industry, I'm a screenwriter. I've won many, many awards. Been in the business, and the people that are in the production side, 70% are out of business. They're gone, out of a job. They're either waiting tables or they went back to where they came from, and they're trying to find some entire. There's a lot of people that are going to be laid off here before Christmas. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of layoffs. AI is going to affect 2026. And if you're not understanding AI, if you're not understanding, a lot of my day is also spent trying to understand AI. How can I use it? How can I apply it? How can I leverage AI, not just with video generation and content generation, but even beyond that? How else can I, beyond what I do, leverage AI? You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. And Gemini's surge past ChatGPT, OpenAI, like I say, they're 2 generations ahead. Perplexity, I tried them. What's the other one that starts with an A? I guess you go live on YouTube and you drop 20 IQ points. That's me. Anthropic. Thank you, Anthropic. Thank you. Nothing beats Gemini right now. Gemini's the best. That's all you need is Gemini AI, man. Neo 3.1 for video generation. It's right up there with Runway, and they're both ahead of Midjourney. They're both ahead of Midjourney. Another 6 months. So what I'm trying to do, I'll set this up for one application. So I'm a screenwriter. I've written many screenplays. I've won hundreds of awards in film festivals around the world. A lot of big ones from Berlin to Greece to all over the world. Singapore, Los Angeles, New York, Toronto, Vancouver. So I love writing, always have. I was an English major, but I'm also a tech guy. I'm also an entrepreneur. So I've done a lot of things, and I worked on Wall Street, financial guy. So lucky enough to have done a lot of things. But when it comes to my screenplays, basically the technology is almost there where I can put my screenplays without mentioning any specific online software. I can start developing scenes where I create a character, it will remember that character, and all the way through that character will be created. So I don't have to retype a description or whatnot. I type in the name and that character is created. Basically, let's say, what's one of the most popular graphic novels? 300, right? Most people have seen or watched or read the graphic novel 300. Imagine that created with AI in a couple of hours. That's the shit that's going on. So it's not even that you need to type in prompts. So let's say I have a screenplay that's already written. I copy paste the screen descriptions and then I copy paste the dialogue. The AI is so intelligent, so effective that it takes everything. And once after a few trial and sets and narrowing things down, it goes through, I input my entire screenplay. And then 2 hours later, it spits out an almost exact copy of what I had in here when I wrote the screenplay visually. Because all I had to do was nail the characters, the character look, the tone of the world, and once the AI understands it, spit out the rest. Guys, that is fucking incredible. That is nuts. That is insane. For a graphic novel, that would normally have taken a crew of 15 people 3 months to finish. Within 1 year, I'm gonna take some of my screenplays, input them. And maybe it'll take more than a couple hours. Maybe it takes a week. If it takes me a week to nail down all the characters, the tone, the mood, on all these things. What are we talking about here? Absolutely. And that's just for a screenplay. You start talking about architecture. You start talking about civil engineering. Civil engineering, guys. Mechanical engineering. My dad was a mechanical engineer. I don't know how many mechanical engineers are going to have jobs. Or civil engineers. Civil engineers, to me, like, as far as I know, AI is going to put civil engineers out of business. Engineers have got problems with AI. I mean, big problems. I don't know any business. You know what? Here's what you got to do. Robot repair guy or gal. If you are in the business of repairing robots, that's like being an elevator repair person or air conditioning repair person in Los Angeles. Air conditioning repair people in Los Angeles make so much fucking money. Oh my God. Yeah, and they know it. And elevator repair people. The money is ridiculous. But if there's going to be an entire and massive industry that's going to deal with robot repair. And you'll call up, it's like, hello, like my robot, its left arm is doing one of these, and it's just, well, can you come and fix it? Oh yeah, we'll be there. We can come today at 2. You know, a consultation is $500. You okay? That's what it's gonna be. Apple's fucked. unless Apple's going to buy Perplexity or Anthropic or buy someone, Tim Cook is not the guy. Tim Cook is a supply chain guy. I've said for a while, Tim Cook is not the CEO Apple needs. There's no freaking way. That's my opinion. You know, like I say, I was a tech analyst on Wall Street, market maker. I don't think Tim Cook is not the guy to take Apple into the future. What's his name at Google? There was a lot of doubts with him, but dude is shit. Google is now Google, like Waymo, the cars. They're what are they? They're opening now in Singapore. They got 2 international cities that they're launching their robo cabs. Google quantum computing. Google quantum computing. Just today, Microsoft announced that, or suggested that its AI revenue is not going to be where it is. So their stock took a beating. It's well off the highs. Google is at the highs. Google may be the super company that no one really thought was a year ago was going to really make it. Google is back on top. Watch Gemini, watch Neo 3.1, watch everything that Gemini and Google is doing with AI. And watch ChatGPT and Sam Altman. They're a fish out of water. They're flopping. They're gonna try. They got to go raise another $50 billion because they got to spend $2 billion and trying to bribe the Gemini engineers to come over there. That's the only way they're gonna catch up. And these fucking AI engineers, guys, they are making $100 million a year. I swear to God, that is what they're making. The top guys. I mean, it's unheard of. The stuff that is happening, the stuff that is going to happen in 2026, guys, it's going to blow you off your feet. And I follow this stuff. I mean, there's people that follow it more than I do, but I follow it deeply because I have to. What I do depends on it. As a matter of fact, I would say 75% of every job in North America depends on AI. It depends on it because AI is probably going to destroy it at one point in time or another. It's a scary thing. Callan Rowan, 54% of U.S. citizens between ages 16 to 74 cannot read above the 6th grade reading level. I lived in Los Angeles, and I'm telling you, man, I would say that 70% of Los Angelonians they're just as they's dumb. The U.S. school system is the worst in the world. According to the U.S. Department of Education, in the U.K., it's 18%, which is below the 21% of us who are illiterate. In Canada, it's pretty high. So I spent basically half of my adult life in the United States, half of my adult life in Canada. I did grow up in Canada. I was born in Europe. So I'm kind of like, I got the trifecta going on. The U.S., it is shocking to me. I could ask any person, almost any person in the United States, wherever I'm standing, I'd say, point to Canada. Be like, they're like, it's like, are you kidding? You have to think about that. You can't, like, you can't even point to Canada. Like, what's north? Point north, and you got it, baby. But you ask other questions, like, point to Europe or point to China, right? One's east, one's west. All you got to do is, like, look at where the sun is setting. Guys, America needs those H-1B, those visas. Otherwise, yeah. It is bad. It is bad. Is Canada real? No. Canada is a psyop. Canada, dude, J-Trax, come on, man. Canada no. We in Canada, we still got the. I just moved back. I just moved back to Canada. It was 20 years in Los Angeles. I just moved back 5 months ago to Canada. Do I miss Los Angeles? Oh fuck no. Oh motherfucker no. Justin Trudeau is a robot. Justin Trudeau is dating Katy Perry. And you know what Katy Perry's most famous statement is? Is math related to science? You remember that one? You fucking remember that one? Is math related to science? Katy Perry was homeschooled. Both of her parents were pastors, traveling pastors. You find that funny, do you? You'll find that. You want a little giggle? Katy Perry is not gonna. She's talented. Okay, that's enough. She's talented, but she's not. She's not solving the three-eye atlas dilemma anytime soon. Human robot, perhaps. Perhaps. So, guys, black holes. Do you like black holes? Do you like black holes? A lot of people do not know. Yeah, well, AI is going to be almost every day on this channel. Godless Universe. We are a science channel. So for every person that comes up and says Jesus loves you, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. It's not a religious channel. Let's talk Israel. Hey, Ghost. Let's talk Israel. Avi Loeb is Israeli. Avi Loeb is an Israeli astronomer. Some people would say, well, that's why he's being an alarmist. So I'm going to remove this from the stage. It's part of being video files. So, black hole. So you guys obviously know what a black hole is, right? So basically, if you think about the size of a black hole, if our sun would have to be about 50% to 100 to twice the size to have a chance to become a black hole. I think that's the size. If our sun, but the size of our sun, which is, what is it? About 1 million kilometers, 1.3 million Earths fit in the sun. If our sun was squished down to 2 miles across. Now, if you take a look at Earth compared to the sun, it's freaking crazy, right? It's absolutely insane how small our Earth is to the sun. 1.3 million Earths fit in the sun. So take the sun and make it 2 miles across diameter. That's how big our sun would be based on its mass if it became a black hole. That is insane. That's like taking the Earth and squishing it down to the size of a golf ball. A golf ball. The Earth. So the density of mass in a black hole is absolutely ridiculous. But there's so many things. So I did this video. I just released it today. It's about black holes. And understanding the immense temperatures, power, that if you were going to float into a black hole, some people honestly think you just flow into a black hole and just go to the other side and it's just like going through a McDonald's drive-through. Well, news for you, it's not. Okay, I mean it's not, right? So, how do I feel about Frenchies? Remember they're Canadians? I don't, I'm not a mean guy. J-Trax, Newfies. Oh, Newfies! I love the Newfies. All right, go to that bar. Go to the bar and get me a fucking bear. Actually, make it 2 fucking bear. Newfies they're fucking great people. You know, it's like Bostonians, like people from Maine, right? Very diverse type of speech, and what was it? Mark Wahlberg, right? He's from Maine. Like, he's fucking funny. He can be funny. Newfies are funny. Nova Scotians are funny. New Yorkers are funny. Oh, look who they voted in, right? Like, well, that's funny. Anyway, let's.
If you could survive.
So this is a new video I just released about black holes, and there's some stuff in here that most people, from a physics perspective, would be blown away by. But I just released this video. It's 8 minutes long.
The crushing gravity and insane radiation, what would the final moments of a plunge into a black hole feel like? Would you be instantly incinerated by unimaginable heat, or would you freeze solid in the ultimate cosmic vacuum? The reality of entering a black hole is far stranger than anything Hollywood has ever imagined, playing out a terrifying cosmic drama of heat, cold, and infinite pressure.
And it's one of the reasons I did this video, because there's so many misconceptions about the stuff that happens around a black hole. The temperatures around a black hole can get to trillions of degrees. Trillions of degrees. Especially when it goes to the outside mass and then goes up to the corona. Trillions. So the accretion disk might be a few million to 100 million degrees Celsius. If the black hole is feeding, you're not going in, boys. You're not going into the black hole.
What truly happens to a space traveler who crosses the point of no return? To answer that, we have to track the terrifying temperature you will encounter on this insane journey. From the swirling mass of the accretion disk surrounding the black hole to the edge of the event horizon, all the way to the crushing zero point at the very heart of the abyss, or what we call the singularity.
They're still actually not sure the concept of singularity, although it's supposed to exist based on the math. They're not sure if the idea of a singularity is really possible. It's kind of like the Big Bang. It shouldn't be called the Big Bang. It should be called like the Great Expansion, the Great Inflation, the Great something. I don't know.
The journey begins not with darkness, but with blinding, searing light. As our hypothetical traveler approaches a typical feeding black hole, one that is actively consuming matter, they must first navigate the accretion disk. This isn't the black hole itself, but the massive swirling cosmic traffic jam of gas, dust, and plasma that the black hole is pulling in. This material does not fall straight in. Instead, it spirals violently around the core at nearly the speed of light.
That's crazy. Most people do not know that. It's actually about 80% of the speed of light that the accretion, all that matter that swirls. And now the one thing that people also don't understand, they ask why is that matter going up above? You see it swirl around the black hole, and it goes up above the black hole. Why does it do that? Well, it's actually, that is the light being bent. So it's actually would be a flat disk, but it's being bent. So it looks like, the black hole is bending space-time. So it looks like it's going over it, but it's just bending the light to make it look like the image that we see. But the stuff going around, imagine at 80% the speed of light, imagine the friction between the matter that's going around at 80% the speed of light. When I did the Avatar video, like doing the Avatar tech on the tech that they use to get from Earth to Pandora, basically a 1 milligram piece of dust going at 70% the speed of light, because that's what the ships, James Cameron ships, go 70% the speed of light. But a 1 milligram piece at 70% of speed of light would be equivalent to an 8.6 tons of dynamite explosion. 8.6 tons, a 1 milligram at 70% the speed of light. It is insane.
The immense gravitational forces and friction compress and heat this matter to millions, sometimes even billions of degrees. The accretion disk glows intensely, emitting lethal radiation, including X-rays and gamma rays. If our traveler tried to pass through the black hole's accretion disk, they would be instantly vaporized by the thermal energy and incinerated by the radiation.
Solstice says, the great booty bash of the universe. Now, Solstice, come on, we know that's not science, or is it? Or is it? Yeah, that's crazy how it can bend that strong. It is. I mean, some people think that we can be, this is like the whole idea of warp drives, man. You're going to bend space and time. The only thing that we know does that is a freaking black hole. It's the only thing that bends space and time, the fabric of the universe. I would love to think that Star Trek is possible, right? Creating a warp drive and off we go. You're not going to put a saddle on a black hole and say, giddy up. Giddy up. I just not going to happen.
Long before they ever reached the true edge of the black hole, the radiation output from a typical active accretion disk around a black hole can be thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of times more powerful than the total energy output of our sun. The heat in this outer region is truly astronomical, up to 100 million degrees Celsius. In the corona region of the black hole, temperatures can reach billions, even hundreds of billions of degrees.
It can actually reach trillions of degrees. Where the corona is, now that's going to be like a hyperluminous quasar. So the biggest hyperluminous quasar that we have found is Ton 618, which is very different than Phoenix A. Phoenix A, I don't think the size is confirmed, but they're based on what they've seen so far, it's 100 billion solar masses. Ton 618 is 66 billion solar masses, but Ton 618 is a hyperluminous quasar. So it is shooting off, the massive high energy jets out of its, and I'm sure that probably in its jets, you would probably have something that is to the point of trillions. Like at what point in time, like, you know what? 1,000 degrees Celsius basically incinerates a human body in seconds, right? So now you're talking trillions of degrees Celsius, which isn't even close. Like there's an upper limit to how much heat you can have in a single place. But that's not even close. But this is literally the kind of energy, the kind of crap that happens when you try and when space and time are bent, distorted, broken, torn, ripped, shredded. Giddy up.
However, if our traveler is lucky enough to approach an isolated black hole, one that has consumed all nearby matter and is drifting alone in empty space, the thermal environment changes drastically. Here, the temperature you would experience is incredibly cold. This leads us to the boundary of no return, the event horizon. The event horizon is the point where the escape velocity is equal to the speed of light. Cross this line, and you can never return.
And it's actually quite interesting. Without an accretion disk, if the black hole is not feeding, you're basically almost at 0 Kelvin. There's no heat. It's a vacuum. It's almost at 0 Kelvin.
Paradoxically, the black hole itself is one of the coldest objects in the universe. Theoretical physics, pioneered by Stephen Hawking, suggests that black holes emit tiny amounts of energy, known as Hawking radiation. This tiny emission gives the black hole a temperature, but it is extremely low. For large supermassive black holes, like the one at the center of our galaxy, the Hawking temperature is only fractions of a degree above absolute zero.
An actual 0 Kelvin is not possible. That would require the complete elimination of all energy from a space, and that's not possible. So 0 Kelvin is only like a theoretical idea. There's always a tiny bit fractional amount of energy, and it is impossible to be 0 Kelvin. I'm actually working on a video on the concept of 0 Kelvin. If the entire universe was at 0 Kelvin, basically there's no energy, no heat energy whatsoever in the entire universe. Does that also stop time? And the philosophical argument is yes. A universe at 0 Kelvin, time will not exist because the rate of change between all objects, particles, everything in the universe would be 0. There's no rate of change. Therefore, time would not exist in a universe that is uniformly at 0 Kelvin. The complete absence of energy. The complete absence of energy is the complete absence. It is time stop, basically. Now, that's philosophical. And 0 Kelvin cannot exist.
That's about minus 273 degrees Celsius, also known as absolute zero. As you drift toward the event horizon of an isolated black monster, you would be falling into an environment dominated by extreme cold, passing through a near-perfect vacuum. Now we reach the moment of truth, crossing the event horizon. This moment is defined not by temperature, but by gravitational force.
When I was putting this video together, no one knows what's on the other side of the event horizon, right? No one knows when you cross that boundary. What is there? There's still some theories that say it's a wall of fire. I doubt that, and I think what most people, astrophysicists, I'm not an astrophysicist, but would suggest that the gravity is pulling everything to the singularity. The fact that there would be a wall of fire wouldn't make sense in terms of how a singularity and how that, I don't want to say infinite gravity, but gravity to the point that is would handle matter or reactions within. It basically is just saying that that's where light is not escaping to get to our eyes. But when I was making this video, I thought, so what imagery do you put? So in this part of the video, we're going towards the event horizon and we're going into the black hole. So I searched far and wide for concepts, images, ideas that if you cross across the event horizon, that would represent something that our mind would sort of perceive as being close to what it might be. But anyway, you'll see the images that I came up with.
For smaller black holes, those under a few 100,000 solar masses, the gravitational pull changes violently between your head and your feet. The resulting tidal forces would tear you apart or spaghettify you long before you ever manage to cross the event horizon. You would be stretched vertically and crushed horizontally into a stream of atoms while still technically outside the boundary. A fiery death caused by gravitational pressure, not heat. But if you are plunging into a gargantuan supermassive black hole, 1 millions of times the mass of the sun, the event horizon is so vast that the change in gravity is more gradual. For a brief, terrifying moment, you could cross the event horizon intact. Inside this boundary, the external universe would instantly disappear forever. But what about the temperature inside this dark realm?
I mean, it's kind of a concept. When you think about it, you cross over. If you went to a black hole that had no accretion disk, it's almost at 0 Kelvin. So your spacesuit would have to have, obviously, he'd have to have a heated spacesuit. But the second you cross over, now if it's a supermassive black hole, the gravity will not spaghettify you, right? It's that massive gravity is distributed across such a massive distance. On a supermassive black hole, you will not be spaghettified. And you cross over, I don't know what would happen when you cross over, but you would know that you have left the universe and you could never go back. Now, when you kind of like go into that concept, I've left the universe and I can never go back. The universe it's not even a closed door. It is a sealed up wall with no way to go back. And now you're floating into, basically you're going towards the singularity. But this visual, I searched so many, I think I searched 3 hours to try and find a visual that's going to work for the idea or concept of when you cross over. Like, it sounds kind of easy when you watch a video. The people that are creating the video conceptually need to put something on there that makes sense. It was so hard.
Inside the event horizon, the environment remains dominated by extreme cold. The initial energy from the outside universe cannot follow you, and the sheer volume of the supermassive black hole's interior means there is very little ambient energy or friction to generate heat. You would be falling through a freezing, lightless abyss. However, that cold environment is temporary. The final, inescapable destination is the singularity. And this is where the rules of physics break down entirely. The singularity is the black hole's true center, a point of infinite density and infinite space-time curvature. It is not heat in the traditional thermal sense that destroys you here, but infinite pressure and energy density.
And these were, So if you've crossed the event horizon and you're moving towards the singularity, you could basically, if the entire inside of a black hole is black and everything is moving to this single point of zero volume but infinite, mass and you have to represent it some way, right? You have to have the visuals represent the singularity and crossing over from the event horizon going towards it. It has to be represented in some way. Nobody knows what is back there because those damn black holes are preventing that light from coming back to us. It probably is. My thought is Murphy's Law. It's much simpler than that. All the matter, everything is just basically being sucked towards the center. Everything. Particles, everything is being torn apart and it's turning into a singularity, just like the Big Bang. And the idea then becomes white holes. So mathematically, white holes do exist. The theory of relativity proves that white holes exist. We haven't seen any. But basically then are black holes then creating, they get a certain size, and based on their size, they create a white hole and they spit out energy that then converts into mass. And if the universe is infinite, let's just say the universe is infinite, it has no end. These black holes, at some part in the universe, they create another quote unquote Big Bang. They turn into a white hole. And that white hole it's not that light can escape. It's only light can go out. Light cannot go in. Everything just goes out. And so when you take a look at the theoretical physics of a black hole, white hole, you basically have a big thing going in and it goes into and then it goes out in a big funnel, right? So if you take a look at the Big Bang, it's exactly the front half of what would be a white hole, which turns into a very interesting idea for the universe. Is basically an infinite universe being continually reorganized, recreated, reshaped, reformed, reborn based on black holes consuming energy. And then those parts of the universe basically become empty space-time, right? Because everything is expanding. Everything's expanding. And then eventually everything gets eaten up by black holes. This might take trillions of years. The universe doesn't care. Hundreds of trillions, quadrillions of years. The universe doesn't care. Time is endless for the universe. It only means something to us because we are finite. Matter is finite. But to the universe, even matter being finite, the universe doesn't care. The fabric of space-time is a constant. It's like matter disrupts. Gravity is the disruption of matter coming into the fabric of space-time. It's space equilibrium theory. And so the idea of a singularity, as if we pass through the event horizon and started working our way to the same, of course we'd be torn apart, right? We have, at that point in time, we're particleized. But you need to theorize the idea that if we did float towards the singularity, what would happen?
All the mass that formed the black hole and every particle that has ever fallen in is crushed into this zero volume point. As you fall closer to the singularity, the tidal forces would become absolutely insurmountable, violently tearing your body into its constituent particles.
I mean, I like that. When I wrote that line, I thought, how do you explain that? You get torn, like every little quark and everything gets torn apart. It's not even atoms. Your atoms get torn apart. Your electrons get torn apart. To your constituent, we probably don't even know what a lot of these little tiny particles are beyond quarks, right? If string theory is correct, which it's called string theory because it can't be proved. It's not proved. It's we're wiped out. We're gone. It's like we never existed.
At the singularity itself, the energy and pressure are beyond comprehension. The entire journey, from the scorching external disk to the freezing cold inside the horizon, ending in the 0 point of infinite pressure at the singularity, shows that the black hole is not just a vacuum of light, but an unparalleled paradox of physics. You wouldn't be able to escape the crushing gravity, proving that sometimes the coldest, emptiest places in the universe contain the most terrifying forms of energy.
That's one of my favorite black hole images of. To me, this one looks so real. It feels this feels like if you're floating one of the most realistic visuals of actually being. I mean, this would probably be a pretty big black hole. Like I would be guessing this would be like Sagittarius A star, right? Our black hole in our galaxy. This is probably what, although there's a lot of stars. If you look at all the stars that are rotating around Sagittarius A star, it's got a lot of buddies. Our supermassive black hole, which is really not supermassive. It's only 4 million solar masses. I mean, ton 618 is 66 billion. It's really not that big. Our black hole, like it's kind of small. Kind of pissed off about that. Like we really got duped on our supermassive black hole. But hey, it keeps the Milky Way together along with some dark matter, so we're okay.
The reality is, temperatures inside and surrounding a black hole vary from 100 million degrees Celsius to near absolute zero.
See, and that's insane. Temperatures around a black hole vary from they vary from trillions of degrees around the corona, trillions of degrees to near 0 Kelvin. That's the range of temperature. 0 Kelvin, near 0 Kelvin, to trillions of degrees. That's their temperature range. You'd have to have quite the spacesuit to try and survive that shit.
The chance of a living biological entity surviving a journey into a black hole, regardless of its size, is 0%.
And that's actually important because a lot of people talk about, I think a lot of people, like people that aren't space sophisticates, they think that you can fall into a black hole. It's like, oh, we just go to a new portal. That's like, no, biology doesn't survive that shit. Like that's, no.
A black hole represents the most extreme environment in our universe, and the idea of ever being able to tame one is an idea based on 100% fiction. This is a godless universe.
So I just released that video today. And I really, what I love about black hole videos is I love working with the visuals. There's a lot of visuals that you find them everywhere. So I'm always hunting to try and find new ones or create new ones. It's expensive to create new ones because a lot of the times in your first generation with AI, it's like, what the I asked for a black hole. What did you give me? What the hell is that? What am I? But, so trying to create these videos that are somewhat new or have imagery that allows the human mind to really take off and go to the next that's what I try and do. I mean, the first thing is the script, right? Making it so that everyone can understand what you're talking about, making it impressive, making it awe-inspiring, because that's what science is. Space and science is awe-inspiring. But if you go to Godless Universe, I think I had 200 videos, and I just did the Event Horizon, the spaceship. Video's doing fantastic. I'm working on it. If the Event Horizon had a sequel, I'm working on that video. Being a screenwriter and what I do, I'm really enjoying the possibilities around. I might even write that screenplay. I might write the screenplay for an Event Horizon 2, give it to Paramount, gave it to what's Ellison's son? What's Larry Ellison's son's name? Hey, you dude, I got a script for Event Horizon 2. I don't know. So yeah, so take a look if you want to watch the videos. I got a video on Ton 618. I got a Phoenix A video. Both of those are doing really good. I do love making black hole videos. Actually, I like making all space videos. I'm working on also a Nostromo Alien, the from Alien, the spaceship. They use a specific type of propulsion to get across the universe. And the idea of cryosleep, I'm also working on a cryosleep video because it's fascinating. We have no idea how to do cryosleep. There's a frog that can be that one frog that goes to sleep, it's frozen. But if the temperature drops below a certain level, it dies. We have no idea if cryosleep can work, right? There's no idea. So I'm working on a video on that. Of course, the hard part is always taking the facts and the information and putting it into a script that works. But anyway, so to finish off this episode, it is Underworld week. Underworld, not underwear, not to be confused with underwear. A world. What the fuck? What the fuck did I just hear? Hey, Tropic Thunder. I should do a review of Tropic Thunder one day. The best to me, Tropic Thunder is the best comedy ever made. Meet the Parents is right up there, but both one have Ben Stiller, right? Ben Stiller, he had some genius. He had some comedic genius. Tropic Thunder is comedic genius. There is a story. So I've never told this story. I've always told people with Tom Cruise. People don't know the story of Tom Cruise and Les Grossman. This is what happened with Tom Cruise and Les Grossman, or Ben Stiller. So Ben Stiller, he wrote the script for Tropic Thunder, and then he sent it to Tom Cruise, because a lot of times when you write a script, you want to send it to people. Now, I don't have access to Tom Cruise, but look, the two Mission Impossible movies were like, what the fuck was that, dude? If you would have given me those two scripts as a screenwriter, I would have said, like, cut out this exposition, man. You're telling, half the movie is just telling you what happens. Show the people what happens. Tom, you're a fucking pro, man. So anyway, so what they did with Tropic Thunder. So Ben Stiller sends Tom Cruise a script of Tropic Thunder. Tom Cruise reads it. Les Grossman did not exist. So you had the director without the pressure from up top, right? So basically the director's motivation to get things done is basically, I got to make a good movie or else. So, but there's no pressure. So Tom Cruise read it, and he told Ben, it's like, look, you really need that studio head pressure from up above. You need, that's where all the tension, because that's what a movie is. It's tension. It is stakes between the protagonist and the antagonist. Who is the antagonist in Tropic Thunder? Well, that's the brilliance of the movie. It is Les Grossman, then it's also the drug guys, right? You know, whose favorite movie is the VHS copy of Simple Jack. But Les Grossman is an antagonist, and he's a fucking great one. So Tom Cruise said, what's missing from your movie is the tension, the pressure, and the stakes from the top of the studio, putting pressure on the director. And that pressure on the director is creating so much mayhem between him and the actors that he goes to extreme ways. So Ben went, yeah. And so so Ben Stiller and Tom Cruise talked about it. And then Ben Stiller said, is it something that you'd be interested in? So Tom Cruise said, I will play that role if I get carte blanche. I make the character, I decide everything about the character, and he has to dance. That was the big thing Tom Cruise said. He's got to dance. He has to dance. But Tom Cruise basically had 100% autonomy over creating Les Grossman, a character totally from his own mind, from his own creation. The dance moves, the big thick arms, the hairy chest, the mannerisms, everything. 100% Tom Cruise. And Ben, I guess if you're Ben Stiller, you kind of you probably say yes to something like that. And that's where Les Grossman came from. So it was 100% Tom Cruise, based on Tom Cruise's input into the screenplay, where Ben Stiller did not have the top down. And when you write a screenplay, I mean, you guys could try and write a screenplay. It's fucking hard. Yeah, very different than a novel. You can't novelize a screenplay. The two are very different. So on my other channel, Pop Rageous, a lot of the videos that I'm going to start doing are basically movie teardowns from a much more technical, not too technical, but tearing down the story from a screenwriter's perspective. So it has some real value when people see, like, what was really wrong with that movie, right? So, and also here, hey, we're about to do the Rise of Lycans. We also do movie reviews, sci-fi, fantasy, and whatnot. But Tropic Thunder, and that's the story with Tom Cruise and Tropic Thunder. So I watched. So this was the day 3 of Underworld week, and And so I did watch The Rise of Lycans. And of course, I know that this one does not have Kate Beckinsale. What's his name? Michael Sheen comes back to play Lucian. What's his name? Plays Victor. It's all takes place in the 1200s, right? It's basically Lucian's story. And you realize, like, Lucian's the protagonist. He is the to have seen this movie and then to see the first Underworld, you'd look at Lucian, the werewolf, as being a sympathetic protagonist. And the movie, so this movie was Rise of Lycans was totally set in the 1200s. So it was a medieval movie. What I love about the Underworld series, and it's stuff that we do not get today. We do not get this consistency of tone, consistency of world building, consistency of, although this movie wasn't the best, it wasn't bad. I think 6.5 on IMDb. Today, if this movie came out, it'd probably be closer to 7.2, I think. It's probably worth a 7 or 7.2. The special effects are pretty good. Some of the werewolf stuff looks meh, but I think this is a 2009 movie. It's compelling. Victor as the antagonist. I mean, what's that actor's name? Why do I forget his name? He's such a good it's like Charles Dance, but he was where is he? Underworld, Rise of the 6.5. I think if it came out today, it would probably get a little bit better reviews. Where's the actors? Come on, man. You make me scroll. Itchy nose. Why can I not find the actors? Come on. Did I pass it, guys? Am I feeling dumb here? What the hell? Oh, I see what happened. Bill Nighy played Victor. He is great. The casting in almost all these movies are pretty good. I mean, this is oh geez, sorry guys, I missed some comments with the black holes. Let's we'll finish that. I'll go back to some of these comments afterwards. This is gonna be a fairly quick review, but the acting, there's so many, so I think the fact that it's the third movie and Kate Beckinsale wasn't in it, and Kate Beckinsale made such a huge impact with people. The movie is not bad. It's very good. It's very focused. Lucian, the actor that plays Lucian, is very good. The logic between characters and why it's established, why the tension, why the hatred is established in The Rise of Lycans is good. The gal that plays the daughter of Victor, she was good. Conceptually, why? So you have to think so if I'm writing a screenplay and at the end a father has to kill his daughter. Think about that. It's got to have solid motivation. Let me take in Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. If you guys seen that, Victor Frankenstein wants to kill Frankenstein. His motivation for getting angry was because he could only say one word. He started to get frustrated. That's all you can say. You can't say hand. You can't say boot. You can't. All you say is Victor. That's all. Okay, it was not earned. His anger towards Frankenstein was never earned. At that point in time, Frankenstein was a sympathetic character. It's like, dude, why are you getting so fucking angry at it? It didn't make sense. And that's where Frankenstein, a lot of people say it's Guillermo del Toro's best movie. No way. The second half was just a copy-paste of Shape of Water. Absolute copy-paste of Shape of Water. If it wins awards, I'd be fucking surprised. Shape of Water was good. This was just copy-paste second half Shape of Water. And motivation is everything. Right? Motivation is everything. So now you're going to have Victor kill his daughter in a horrific way. And that motivation, so they established Victor in the previous movies as hating the abomination of vampires and werewolves coming together, right? It's an abomination. That was been consistent in his character from the very first one. And it came up as part of the reason that he gave to kill his daughter. Not Lucian, kill his daughter because she was pregnant with the werewolf. So I look at it from a screenwriter's perspective, and it was well done. It's well done, right? Motivation. But because if a character's motivation doesn't, he did all that just to really, like, you know, motivation is everything in a movie and a character, protagonist, antagonist. So they really set it all up really well. And you know, trying to recreate 13th century Hungary, it's hard. It's good movie making. This is good movie making. It is. It's good movie making.
But you will learn to be loyal without the loyalty between us. We are no better than the beasts at our door.
They are the immortal damned, vampire and Lycan. One born into privilege.
Sonia, you risk too much for a father to ignore.
It's Sonia, the actress, she did really well too. What was her name? Yeah, Rona Mitra. She did really good. And the idea is that Victor, because his daughter looked so much like Celine, or Celine looked so much like his daughter, which is so. And this is a great thing about Underworld. We take it for granted, but this stuff makes sense across multiple movies. So it's well done. A lot of times movies get into the third and fourth movie. It's like, wait a second, now you're contradicting what you said there. They're very consistent. So they need to have an actress that looked like Celine, Kate Beckinsale. And she did. And that was the reason why he saved and killed all of Celine's family and saved Kate Beckinsale. The logic is perfect. And I give absolute kudos to the people that you know, put this series together.
Quite capable of looking after myself.
The other, bred for slavery.
Lucian, you are a credit to your race.
But all that is about to change.
Sonia, if I were to leave, would you come with me?
My father would hunt you down.
You have stung me with your betrayal.
I've lived by their rules my entire life. I've protected them, envied them.
And each character progressed. It was a staged progression of their anger, the tension between all the characters. It just grew. It was well done. I wish a movie like this would come out today. I really do. Like a movie with this style, and you take a look at the coloring. The coloring of the movie is almost like they start off with a black and white. Then they add shades of blue. They add a little bit of red, but no primary colors, right? There's no primary colors. That's how you fuck everything up. Look at The Witcher. Cinematography is shit. The lighting is shit. The sets are shit. This is well done. Look at the cinematography and the lighting. This is not easy to do.
And for what? I have to be treated like an animal. We are not animals!
Again, just look at the lighting. Look at the shading. This is a lighting crew and cinematographers that are not scared to put shadows on faces. You might think it's easy. It's not. It's not.
Is this what you want?
It's awesome.
We can be slaves!
Well done. Well done.
Or we can be!
See the black and white with the blue, right? That's the tone. That's the color palette. It's fucking awesome. It's contrived. It's not an accident. Every scene, black and white with that slight tinge of blue. And where it's needed, you'll see some burgundies, you'll see some this. But this is creating tone, world building from scene one to the final scene. And when he kills his daughter, you actually feel something. You actually feel something.
have defied me for the last time.
Are you with me?
I mean, and the trailer is good. And again, you can see through the entire trailer, and it's the same thing with the entire movie. The characters make sense. The motivation makes sense. The characters slowly escalate. And then the final climax with Victor, his daughter, Lucian, it all makes sense with the motivations that they established early on. And in the previous movies as well, right? And you start to understand, it was so convincing that you understand why Victor saved Celine. Because it does look like his daughter. And what this movie did, which is basically setting up the lore for Lucian and Victor, it was well done. It was well done. Like I say, it got a 6.5. In today's terms, it'd probably be a 7 to a 7.3. 7.5 maybe.
I'll kill you! All of
you! January 2009. Damn, we were locked in a huge recession back then. People were going through pain, man. Oh, well, we don't want to watch that again. So anyway, this is Underworld Week. We're doing the entire Underworld series. We did 2003 on Monday, 2006 yesterday. Today was Rise of the Lycans. There's actually 2 more movies, and we do Monday through Thursday. Maybe I'll do another on Monday. But you know, guys, like I say, I'm a screenwriter, and you could Google me, Danny Alex, screenwriter. I won hundreds of awards in film festivals around the world. I've never sold a screenplay. Never optioned it. I've had offers, and the last thing I've ever wanted with one of my screenplays is to give it to some producer who puts $500,000 into it, sells it for $1 million, $1.5 million, and it turns into a 2.6 out of 10 on IMDb, and then my freaking name is on it. No fucking way. I'd rather die and have nothing produced than to have my name stuck on those garbage crap movies. But this movie, I'm telling you, man, the Underworld series, if all these movies came out today, we would appreciate them so much more than the 2003 to I think 2014 was the run of those movies. Rise of the Lycans is where's the, you know what, let me I'm going to, before we wrap up this show, we got a really big show. Oh, really? Let me share that. Share screen. Underworld, Rise of the Lycans. I always like to there we go. So I always like to and you know, part of you know what I do here on Godless Universe is not only just science, but it's also being a screenwriter. Science fiction, fantasy, horror, science horror has so much to do with science fact. Astrophysicists, physicists, planetary scientists, they watch science fiction and they're inspired by science fiction. We've kind of been screwed with the current, the last few years of science fiction, but it is a part of the science fact community because it inspires. Science fiction inspires science fact, whether it's physics, biology, chemistry, philosophy, history, all of it, right? So, but there you go. You got a 6.5 out of 10. Looks like the average rating is right around a 7. Oh, you got a lot of 10s. Boy, it looks like it's higher than 6.5. Just visually thinking, mathematically, you would. Looks like a 7 point. Yeah, it looks like a 7.3. But it is. They prorate everything. It's on a 6 out of 10. Surprisingly good prequel. It was. You know what? It was well done. Cinematography, the lighting, the characters, the acting. I try to find nothing was done well, except for the tone and the world building, because it's so consistent. It's that black and white with that bluish teal, and then you sometimes get a little bit of the orangey sort of color, very little bit, a little bit of burgundies, very light, because that sort of helps offset with the vampires. You know, I really enjoyed it. Michael Sheen is super. He is superb. He is fucking superb in a film where great performances normally don't happen. In this genre, it can be lacking. I like what everyone did in this movie. All the major characters. The Lycans are here. A great lore for the Lycans. I am not looking for. So guys, Bob Eagers, I'm not looking forward to his werewolf movie that's coming out. Nosferatu was shit. It was garbage. It barely made money. Now, if you're doing Dracula, Nosferatu, by default, you got a base, right? You got a base of people that will go see the movie because, oh my God, it's Nosferatu. If you guys watch Nosferatu, I thought that was... The Northman was terrible. It was fucking bad. You know, so much hype. Do you remember there was so much hype for the Northman? It came out. Oh my God, it was so bad. So bad. So the new werewolf, I'm not holding my breath because I will die. Not looking forward to it. But what they did here in Underworld, More Than Animals, good simple story without Kate Beckinsale. Yeah, that's just it. It's a good story. There's no such thing as a good simple story. Simple stories, when you need to escalate character motivations, when you need to put them and have them interacting in a logical way. And if you think it easy, write a screenplay. Let me know how that turns out. I remember my first screenplay. Holy jeez. I still have it. It's not easy. Prequel, overwhelming prequel that explains the origin of taking on between vampires and Lycans. Well, yeah, it's a best prequel I've seen, and this is a third movie, right? Usually by the third movie they just suck ass. This was a good, I Am Spartacus. I like that. I like that TV series, Spartacus. Monster Mash Spartacus, actually as boring and generic as it appeared to be. Hey, you know what? Everyone gets an opinion. You can't argue opinion. Look, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I could argue many reasons why this was a good story, and it's basically from story science, from a pure story science perspective. The writing was good. In every Underworld movie, the opening scene is so important. In every movie, the opening scene is critical, and they are great at establishing, and they are not scared to establish the conflict, the tension. Like the very first movie, the very first Underworld, Selena's watching and she sees Lycans that are going on the street. There's been some funny stuff that they've been going on, but then she eventually realizes that they were following a human. But that first scene turns out into a fight and yada yada yada. That tension, it makes us understand how much the Lycans and the vampires hate each other and the conflict between them. You only get so many minutes in a movie, and you got to explain this shit really fast. No wasted scenes. A very good prequel, I would agree. Genesis of the Nashers, Medieval Tale of the Genesis of the Lycans, and how Lucian was born into the middle of a frying pan. Yeah. It's a great, cheap without thrills. I disagree. I think there was a lot bittersweet movie. Sit down. Sit down. That's your title. The series continues to entertain, but also not quite succeeding in winning me over. To be honest, it hadn't been for the return of Rays, I might not have been given this a chance at all. Kevin Gravois is just playing a badass. That's his real voice. Seriously, listen to interviews with him. That's true. That's the big werewolf, the big guy. Oh, he's got that voice in the first one. He's good. Yeah. He had a good role. I'm surprised he wasn't more prominent in movies after that, because he's pretty solid. A solid prequel that fills in much of the franchise's mythology. Yeah, there's a lot of lore. They filled in. All in all, this rocks. Yeah. The prequel to Underworld, Rise of the Lycans, a visually captivating disappointment. I, like many this evening, braved the frigid winter along lines for the best movie of the year. However, I was left sadly wanting in many ways to be enrolled. But to be fair, there were redeemable qualities. Let's start with what worked. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to read through that. Someone thought it was 4 out of 10. That's fair. 10 out of 10. I don't know about that. There's no 10 out of 10, but that's fair. One of the greatest prequels. I don't know about the greatest. Okay for a prequel. Like I say, I think if I would measure it today based on what we're seeing today, I would give it like a 7.7 to 7.5, depending on how happy I was that day. Like today, I'm feeling 7.3. Bad script, bad ideas, and okay action. It wasn't. The script was very good. The actors were very good. The motivations were very good. The inciting incident was very good. The run up into the final act, and the fact that you think Victor was... Well, I don't think if anyone thought that Victor was actually killed when he got the sword through the mouth. I don't understand why Victor was more powerful than Marcus, because Marcus was blood straight from daddy, right? Corvinus. Victor became a vampire through Marcus because Marcus wanted his army, his human army. So I don't think they've ever explained how Victor became so powerful, because he would be a one generation removed from Corvinus. And in the second movie, my biggest issue, I think, was the fact that Corvinus came across as some weak, timid. And in yesterday's review, what I would have done with Corvinus is I would have had no voice, just someone speaking to him. We don't get to see him until maybe Marcus, when Marcus shows up, and he is a fucking badass. And his whole thing is he's almost like a god in ways. Like, I don't care. You are my sons. You figure it out. I have no need to intervene in such trivial matters, kind of thing, right? I am Corbin. But he turned, what was that guy's name? He played a gladiator. He's a good actor. That was such a letdown. We were looking for a payoff. We were going to think Corvinus is like, this guy's going to rock ass. And we're like, oh, are you serious? Are you serious? That's all you're giving us? Really? That was a missed opportunity. I would have only had him in the movie once or twice to show his, you don't want him to be overly muscular or anything like that. It was just some absolutely like an actor that just conveys utter power, right? More of a fill in the blank than a true movie? Well, I disagree. If you guys watched the season 5 of Stranger Things, that was disappointing. One of the worst things you could ever do for a protagonist is have the plot make all the decisions for the protagonist. And if you're wondering why was Stranger Things season, the first 4 episodes kind of boring, because the plot was making all the decisions for the protagonists. You want the protagonists to make their own decisions, get themselves into a deep hole, and then understand. And at no time really is Vecna really working against the protagonists. They're just trying to solve a mousetrap. You want to see the antagonist actively kicking the protagonist's ass. It was bad screenwriting, and I do not look forward to the Duffer Brothers' next project, because this reminds me of D&D in Game of Thrones. They had some great ideas, like every screenwriter has great ideas in their first couple of screenplays. It's the 3rd, 4th, or 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th screenplay. What we see in the 5th season, it's not good. It's not good. But the fans are so dedicated. They'll love anything, right? They just want to see more Vecna. They want to see more number 11. They want to see more. I mean, it started off with 5 guys. 5 guys playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I love me Dungeons and Dragons. I got like D&D, I got some of my stuff right down there. It turned into 5 guys playing D&D, which basically is now we have 6 women that are the secret to everything. I think a 7th. We have a 7th one, right? What's her name? Appeared. Although William became a guy he killed 3 of the Demogorgons and whatnot. So, but anyway, I think the Underworld series, and the reason I did do the Underworld series, because I thought that it was underrated, given the times we're at. if you guys want to see a really good multi-movie series, start off with Underworld 2003. I think you'll like it. I am enjoying rewatching it again. I really am. Totally enjoying. I love Kate Beckinsale. I love the character. Celine is one of the best female protagonists that earned her place. Who we respect her power. Because in today's world of female protagonists, they're just powerful because they're female. They don't have to earn it. It took Luke Skywalker 3 movies to defeat his dad. It took Rey 2 scenes to defeat Kylo Ren. We want to see female characters be tested, get beaten up, lose, learn. It's like Rocky. It's like the first Rocky. Why do we love Rocky? Because his victory was all about losing. It was all about how bad he was going to lose. The first Rocky is Oscar gold. Sly Stallone's first movie was by far his best. Rocky is a brilliant screenplay. It's a brilliant story because it wasn't about winning. And if Rocky would have won that, it would have sucked ass. It was about him just surviving against Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers. I love Carl Weathers. Man, I love me some Carl Weathers. He's not with us anymore. But I do love, I think Carl Weathers and the Rocky dynamic was fantastic. It's another movie that, you know what? If you're, it's not a Christmas movie, but coming up to Christmas time, you sit down with a family, you watch a little bit of Rocky, watch a little bit of Underworld. And then you watch some Christmas Vacation or Scrooged. Scrooged is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I love Scrooged. It's a great Christmas movie. So that's it. So that is Rise of the Lycans. Tomorrow, what's the next movie in the Underworld series? I'm going to be doing, I forgot the, is it Awakening? No. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a bunch of other stuff, guys. On Christmas Eve, I'm going to be live for 4 hours. Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, I'm doing an 8-hour marathon for everyone who doesn't have any family or friends or nothing to do. Come join me. We're going to be talking about everything, a lot of stuff. 8 hours. I'll be talking about a lot of stuff. Hopefully we get a whole bunch of comments to help create some content. We need content for 8 hours. Christmas Day, my friends. Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. And then I will be back. Time flies, doesn't it? Dear God, it was just Labor Day. Now we're 2 weeks, 3 weeks out from Christmas. Where did Halloween go? Where did Halloween? The NFL season is almost over. Where's there 5 games left in the NFL season? Anyway, guys, till tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, 5 Central, 5 Mountain, 6 Central. I will see you guys tomorrow evening, and I thank you for hanging out with me. It is my absolute pleasure. Thank you.
children. Let's take our seats. Yeah, baby. We'll do it live. Fuck it.